Hi, and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Veronique Arsenault, and I'm joined, of course, by my fantastic co-host, Judy Loge.
Nice to be here with you.
I know, we're very excited. I know. Well, Audrey had something she had to take care of today, so she couldn't be here.
I know, and it happens. So it's you and I, kid.
We have so much show today.
It's going to be a really good show. And I think it always is. That's just my humble opinion. I'm a little bit biased, but I hear good feedback.
I'm with you, though. I think it's pretty fabulous.
People seem to be liking it, so we carry on.
I know. So we're going to start with my positive, I'm going to do positive thought today.
Okay.
And it's really short and simple.
Good, like mine last week.
Really short and simple.
All right.
We rise by lifting others.
Perfect. And we do.
I know. I think there's enough sunshine for everybody.
You know, if you just say one encouraging thing to one person each day, it's going to make a difference in that person's lives.
Exactly.
And there's so much negative. Just look for something positive. Everybody has a positive quality.
Yeah.
We have to look for that.
I know.
And not dwell on the things that they're not good at or they don't shine at. So I'm with you on that.
I know. I agree, because it's, you know what, we tend to, people think, well, I have to look better than everybody else. But you know what? If you're looking great and I'm with you and and Audrey's looking great and I'm with her, then and I'm making you feel good, then I feel good.
That's right.
And then I lift myself up.
Yes, and everyone has a struggle. There's nobody in life without a struggle. So we have to kind of, if they open up a little bit as to what some of their challenges are, we're then able to give a bit of encouragement, and that can make a huge difference in somebody's change in direction of their lives.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Very good quote.
Well, short and sweet.
Yes.
Now, you had a busy weekend.
I did. Now, Friday night, I couldn't attend what you're going to talk about because I had like a little bit of a sinus thing going on, and it was miserable, so I thought I better stay out of the cold.
Yeah.
However, Saturday night, we had a 60th surprise party for my first cousin's wife.
Yeah.
And she was totally surprised.
Really?
Which I'm not in on those surprise parties very often.
Yeah. I always wonder if people actually are, or if they kind of, had an inkling or asked for it. Or...
She was shocked because her husband couldn't get her there because she wasn't feeling well. Oh. So he said, we have to go. It's so-and-so's anniversary party. And she said, I don't want to go. He said, we're going. And he had to almost drag her there. She said, why are you forcing me to go to this thing I don't really feel like going to? Ended up, she had a great time, ended up dancing. And you know what, Veronique? Like we just said, there's so much down stuff going on in the world that I love to go to events where it's happy and there's music and there's harmony, and that's exactly what it was. It was a celebration of her life.
Sounds like a good time.
I like a good time.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Friday night was really quite amazing. The Miramichi Regional Multicultural Association, of which, of course, I'm the executive director, organized a candlelight vigil for those killed in the mosque shooting, a little over a week ago, and the 6 gentlemen that were killed as they prayed.
I know.
By a young man. He was only 27, and so we felt it was really important to show our solidarity in the community, to stand with our Muslim community here in the region, and of course with those who had been killed just for practicing a different faith.
I know.
And so it was -30.
Yes, it was, and you were very brave people to go out. And
it was
good numbers.
-30, but you know what? We had over 80 people there.
People care. People want to show their respect for those whose lives have taken, because, like I said, there are brothers and sisters.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
I'm just so non-prejudiced that you're dealing with the wrong person if you're talking down to me about somebody of a different race, color, whatever, religion, because I'm all for one and one for all.
Well, I mean, we are all just humans, right?
Exactly.
We're all just human beings, and it was really quite amazing. It was a short night. Of course, we kept it
very cold,
quite short, but we had Police Chief Paul Fyander came.
Yes.
And we had Mayor Adam Lorden, we had Minister Bill Fraser.
Good.
We had our President Rumba Prashad. She spoke and said a few words. Dr. Khan delivered the prayer for the dead.
Did he? Okay.
It was beautiful.
Very, very nice.
Beautiful.
Man.
And then he spoke a few words, of course, on behalf of the Muslim community here in the region. And then Paula Foley sang.
And she's an angel, as far as I'm concerned. Voice of an angel and
truly
character of an angel. She's a beautiful person.
It really was beautiful. And she sang John Lennon's Imagine.
Wow.
And she had passed out the words, and so people in the crowd joined in as well.
Yes.
And you could hear them in the chorus, and it was so. Of course, I cried. But it was truly beautiful, and we really wanted to thank the city for helping us organize it, and closing off the street, and for providing a police officer, and for the people for coming out. And there was people of all faiths. We had a clergy. We had clergy there. We had. It was just amazing.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, it was
the way
beautiful.
it should be. I'm glad that the community did that.
Yeah, and our board of directors, almost all of them were able to come, which was wonderful because it was such short notice. So it was a fantastic night.
Good, very
yeah. We froze though.
But you did the right thing. You made your time the best you could with with very beautiful
yes,
ceremony.
Yeah. It was. We were lucky to have that many people come out, and especially actually Minister Fraser was able to attend. We didn't think he was going to be able to because the Prime Minister arrived.
Exactly, I saw that.
Yes, and so both Minister Fraser and Mayor Lorden met him at the airport, and then came over to the vigil, and then Minister Harris, who had originally planned on coming, had to escort, of course, the Prime Minister down to the Acadian Peninsula, and he came to see, everything that had happened. It was quite a devastating couple of weeks for our region and for northern New Brunswick.
So was he able to at nighttime when he arrived see the destruction, or did he stay around the next day or so?
No, he stayed that evening, but I think they took him through the communities to see, and he was able to thank the first responders, the volunteers, the utility workers. We had crews in our area from New Brunswick, PEI, Nova Scotia, Maine, and Quebec.
I know. They were from everywhere. And they're restored now. Please tell me that everybody has their power.
There's nobody left without power.
Good. And not to be the bad news bear, because I'm hoping and praying that we're going to get slammed again on Wednesday with the nice freezing rain. And they're saying 15 to 20 centimeters. So people now are hopefully more prepared with generators and food and things that they may need. And let's hope it's just a passing thing, that there's not great winds and it's not as bad as the last episode.
Regular old snowstorm.
Right.
But I have to say, though, we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago. I was not prepared.
No,
I've always heard that you have to have 72 hours worth of provisions.
We don't listen.
No.
You think it's not going to be us?
No.
Man, it was.
No. And it was us. Totally.
It was.
Totally. And so I did hear on the news today that the Red Cross has set up an emergency fund, and that you can apply to get actual funds.
I did hear that.
Yeah, actual funds from the Red Cross.
Financial losses.
Exactly.
That is super news.
Well, people were 12 days without power.
Yeah. And it was so cold. Like I said, I can imagine, if it had gone any longer, how people would stand that. But
and the week that we had without power, the temperature kind of hovered around the -2
pretty
to
mild.
-10. But they had like -20 and -30.
I know, and a brutal.
Oh, terrible.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So did you watch the big game last night?
You know what? I didn't. I watched the highlights. I had a report due this morning for
and I'm
work.
not big into football myself.
I usually, I typically watch it.
But I like the highlights as you do.
Yeah.
And it was some kind of a blowout.
Oh my goodness. Well, to be in the fourth quarter, and it's 28-0.
Unbelievable.
For Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
And then for the New England Patriots, and of course, Tom Brady. To come back.
Yes.
And in overtime, 34-28.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was the last 57 seconds, wasn't it, that they had the big move?
I can't even imagine.
I couldn't believe that. But when I watched him at the first quarter with no points, I thought the sheer look of willpower and determination on his face was telling me something, that he is going to go strong and bold and get his teammates to really rally.
Yeah.
And he said that. He said that when they had their little talk and discussion with their coach, that they weren't feeling that bad. They just had to learn how to strategize a bit better, and they went in with a really strong plan when they went back at it. And did they ever come through?
Well, they've won 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he's got 5 Super Bowl rings now.
That's some chunky jewelry.
Yeah, and his wife, of course, is the beautiful Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bundchen.
Isn't she?
But their net worth between the two of them is $544 million.
Is that all?
Yeah. So, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine just earning that much money, like $360 million just for looking beautiful?
No.
Like, wow.
You and I are not making that.
It's time, Veronique, that's got to change.
We need to change our revenue stream.
Facelifts. No. But really good on them. And, and so let's just switch from into Lady Gaga.
Oh.
Because there's another woman determined.
See, now I watched that this morning on YouTube. I pulled up the video.
Isn't she something?
She dove off a building.
Yeah. And you get these people critiquing and saying, oh, she didn't do this and that. Let them try that. She geared up and she did trapeze work and she did running and jumping and hanging, and still was able to carry out a vocal performance that was stunning.
She's got an incredible voice.
And she's got incredible energy.
She does.
My brother Bruce texted me, wow, the energy. And I'm thinking, go for it, because she's planned this for so long.
Yeah. And she did it all in stiletto boots.
Yeah, and her figure. That girl had a challenge with her weight, she said, for some time. So I bet you she just geared up and went full throttle to make it in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
The best body she could have out there with a little on at times.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, Veronique? There's a girl I admire because she suffers with daily anxiety and depression. And she said she fights it every single day of her life. So who would think a superstar like Lady Gaga putting out albums and
Yeah.
world tours. She's got a new world tour called Joanne coming up. Could fight that and carry on the way she does. It just shows what, if you get help
Yeah.
and you get the right sources of medication and
Yeah.
therapy, that you can have a very full, happening career.
That's right. And the more people like her talk about it,
Yes.
you know, the fact that she is dealing with anxiety every day, and the more we talk about it as, you know, communities and just around the table, the better it is.
Crucial.
Because she's learned coping mechanisms.
She sure has.
You know, and she's learned, you know, whatever it is, whether it be medication or therapy or her coping mechanisms, how to deal with it. And she's incredible.
But her first love is acting, you know.
Yeah.
I've done some thinking and like looking into her life, and she won an Oscar. She won a Golden Globe last year for her part on American Horror Story.
Yeah.
She played the Countess.
Yeah.
And there you go. So she's brilliant. She's an actress.
You know, and it's funny because I don't watch that. You know, I don't watch that kind of stuff.
No.
But I did watch one episode with her in it, and she's phenomenal.
She can do anything pretty much.
Yeah.
And she's looking pretty good. She was brilliant enough to be innovative with her costumes to make her a sensation.
Yeah.
So she was crazy basically with
know.
her style,
I know.
which drew positive attention. It was negative positive. So she sold herself
Oh yeah,
and made it big.
I find her amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I find her music. I don't always love all of her music, but there's always something interesting.
The new one's beautiful, I think.
Yeah.
Soft and gentle. But anyway, and Tom Brady's soft and gentle.
Isn't
He
he?
is so sweet.
He's lovely.
He's lovely.
Yes.
So he was a model in his day as well.
He was. Well,
Yeah.
I can understand it.
They make a beautiful couple.
Don't they?
So I went to see the movie Split. Just your favorite kind of a movie.
I can't even imagine.
Well, it wasn't as scary as I wanted it to be.
Really?
No.
Just the trailer has freaked me out.
No, I love that stuff. I guess I live on the edge of suspenseful movies, and I
Yeah.
like those kinds of books. But James McAvoy is amazing anyway.
Yeah.
So he had to play 23 personalities, and just the transformation, watching him from going to a female character into a very raunchy male character into that of a little boy 9 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Takes skill. And he certainly executed skill.
Yeah, I love his acting. He was in Narnia. He was the goat. I can't remember his name right now, but I loved his acting. I love his acting, and he's been in the X-Men movies, and like he's got a real range.
Yeah, I like him.
He's
I
got
like
a real
him.
range. I really enjoy his stuff. Yeah.
But the next show we go to will be a comedy.
Yes.
Okay, and there's lots of community events coming up too soon, like
But
we
you know
always
what?
have.
There's so much going on in the next little bit, but actually something that did happen over the weekend was the 7th annual Carney Memorial Hockey Tournament.
Yes, it was. And me
Yeah.
with my little sinus thing going on, I couldn't spend my evening at a rink, so my heart was with them. They're my
Yeah,
family.
of course.
Just to recap, I guess, for those who don't know, Carly Carney was in a very tragic car accident with my first cousin at the age of 14. And as a result of the car crash, she lost her life. And actually passed away horrifically on Mother's Day.
Remember.
And we adored the girl. She was a very happening, beautiful, strong-willed girl involved in hockey and every sport you can mention, high achiever. And so we pay tribute to her. They do the community with the Carly Carney Memorial Hockey Tournament in Sunny Corner. And it's an amazing community endeavor to keep her alive.
I know, and they raise funds, and it's funny. I could see the pictures of Lynn, her mom,
My cousin.
yeah, on Facebook, and she was there cheering. And it's quite amazing, and they have the pink jerseys with her name on the back.
Yes.
So it's quite amazing to see that every year, and very well attended.
And her brother, like he must find that very hard. But then they're,
Yeah.
like I said, keeping that girl in their lives and honoring her and remembering her, which is beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Something interesting, a few months ago, we had Judy Hallahan on with the International Student Program, and she's got 12, I think it's 12, Chinese students that are here for a couple of weeks.
Both schools, like the Newcastle side and China.
Well, they come and they learn a little bit. They do activities every day,
Great.
and they only stay for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then they stay with host families, of course, and then they travel, and they've been cross country skiing.
Isn't that amazing?
They've done just about everything. I was watching their adventures on Facebook, and it was pretty exciting. On Friday, they got to meet Mayor Lorden.
Nice.
Yeah, which is unusual. We take it for granted in our community.
Yeah, we
because
take snow for granted too.
we do, but because we see Mayor Lorden and Minister Fraser and Minister Harris,
Yes.
and MP Pat Finnegan, we see them everywhere, right? And so it's just normal to see them at dinner.
Even have them on our show.
We do, and it's normal. But when you're in other communities, in other provinces, and in other countries, it's rare to run into the mayor.
And these are young people. They felt very honored to be having the opportunity.
So I think they really they've enjoyed their time here in Miramichi, and they've really taken in a lot of the events. So it's been quite exciting.
I'm not home long enough to host a child.
No,
I'm not home long to host myself.
No,
it's like, what are we having for supper? It's just you and I, kid.
I know.
And then we say, you pick.
Yeah.
Because it's really strange having like nobody home but Gerard and I and the dog.
Right. Well, that's a big change for you.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm adjusting really well. People say you must have such emptiness, and I'm like, no, they're having a busy life, and so are we.
Yeah.
If I was sitting home bored, it would be a different story.
Oh, it would be for
like
sure.
Like waiting for everyone to return, and but no, I'm very active, and you know that.
Oh yeah. Well, and we're often at the same events. But tomorrow night, actually, on Tuesday night, is the Women's Business Network annual general meeting.
Okay, and you're going to be there.
Unfortunately, I've got doggy training.
Oh, doggy training. How's she doing?
Well, she's brilliant.
Aren't all females?
I know.
It's a female dog, isn't
yes,
it?
she is. Yeah, Jenny's our. She's going to be 3. I thought
gorgeous.
she was already 3, but she's going to be 3.
She's beautiful.
I know. She's our Australian sheepdog.
Yes.
And so we decided to go to doggy training because she's so smart. And I wanted to better be able to understand what she wants, and for her to understand what I wanted, so that and that she would stop licking our other dog.
I know, she loves poor little Bud.
She does. And Bud is only 10 pounds, and Jenny's about 70 pounds.
Dominant.
And all she does is lick them, like all the time. But poor little Jen was sick last night.
Yeah, that would not be a pleasant scene.
No.
In fact, I'm not good around sickness. Like, I would never be a good nurse.
No.
Because smells do me in.
Yeah.
And from either end, I would run. So.
Yeah. Well, she was quite sick, and I think it was my fault because I fed her garlic bread. Yeah, but anyway, tomorrow we're going to our second session at Leader of the Pack, doggy training, and so as I said, she's quite brilliant.
Yes.
So we're hoping that she'll be even more brilliant after doggy training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there something you said? There's a Tasmanian component to her.
Yeah,
her
she's
type of dog?
she's an Australian Tasmanian Smithfield mix.
How interesting.
Border Collie and Sheepdog.
And she's so pretty.
Oh, and she's such a loving dog.
Yeah. No, they make our lives complete. And I don't want to say that movie about a dog's life. Or a dog's purpose.
Yeah. But we're going to actually head to our next, to our first break, and then we'll have our very full show coming up right after that. We're looking forward to all of our guests today, and Judy and I will be back not too long right after the break. So don't go away. Grab a coffee, sit on the couch, join us soon. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. We had a very quick break there, and we have an exceptionally busy show today, and we are so excited to welcome our next guests. We have 2 very lovely young people that are joining Judy and I. We have Zakia Asoyuf and Michael Clark.
And I'm happy to have you.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Now, Michael, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Michael. I play bowling and floor hockey.
Okay.
Yes.
Bowling and floor hockey.
Yes, I bowl floor hockey and swimming.
And swimming too.
Yes.
Which one's your favorite?
Well, if I had to pick, I have to pick bowling.
Bowling.
Okay.
Because you're a shark at bowling, are you?
Yes, I am.
And I'm not.
How long have you been bowling, Michael?
I don't know how long I've been bowling, but I can say that I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good. I bet you, Judy, that he could probably beat us.
You could beat me hands down because every ball I throw, it goes into the gutter.
Well, sometime I'll teach you how to do that.
It would take a while, dear. We'd need more than a day.
That's okay.
Because I'm terrible at it.
That's all right.
But I'm glad you're involved in all that activity. Keeps you out of trouble, right, Michael?
That's right. It does.
Right.
Now, Zakia, you tell us about you.
Well, I am from Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Yep.
I am 37 years old.
That floored me.
Yeah, you look quite a bit younger.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you say Miramichi, but which part exactly in Miramichi do you live in?
Douglastown.
Okay.
And Michael, you live in?
I live in Millbank.
Millbank.
New
That's a
Brunswick.
nice area, too.
Now,
Right.
Michael, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Well, I have a sister who's older than me,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and I have a nice mother, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mother.
Oh, you're looking for brownie points, aren't you?
You do have
Yes.
a most wonderful mother.
And I do have a dad
Yes.
who works sometimes in the basement on his lobster trap because
Yeah.
he's a fisherman.
I know him,
nice.
too,
Okay.
fisherman, and I know your mom as well.
And I have a dog. His name is Orion.
Orion,
Like
right.
a young dog or an older?
Well, he's such a puppy.
A pup.
That he's older.
You're lucky.
Yep.
He's a golden lab, eh?
But he's a yellow lab.
A yellow lab. Okay.
There's a difference, Veronique, because seriously,
yes.
it's like my hair. It's not light brown. It's an ash brown, right?
That's right.
That's right. Now, Zakia, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have 2 brothers, Amy and I. And I have 4 sisters.
Big family.
Yeah, and we have 7 altogether
Wow.
in our family.
You have 4 sisters.
Now, you're both babies of the family.
Yes,
That's
we
correct,
are.
we are.
Does that mean you get spoiled?
Well, I don't know what me, but I'm spoiled watching by my mother.
You're spoiled rotten? Okay, there's
Of
nothing
course.
wrong with that as long as you turn out to be nice.
Well, you know what though? I'm an only child.
Really?
I don't have any brothers or sisters, so I'm pretty spoiled.
Well, I'm so sorry.
But you know what? I have 2 dogs.
Your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm the
nice.
oldest in my family, and I have one brother that's younger, of
Yeah.
course, that like the only boy,
Yeah.
and then the 2 sisters. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yep. So you're very active in the Miramichi community, both of you.
Yes.
And that's why we kind of wanted to bring you on the show to kind of highlight some of the events that you've both been taking part of for a long time now.
Yes.
Okay?
And when I look at you, I think of hockey
That's right.
because my son Jansen played on a competitive team for hockey about 2 years ago, and you were the trainer?
Yep, that's Miramichi Wild.
It was the Miramichi Wild team.
Okay.
That's right. So as a trainer of a team with a lot of people on it,
Yes.
what did you have any problems with those guys?
Well, there were some problems, but I sorted them out.
Because you're easygoing.
I'm easygoing and I'm really open-minded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two
So
great-
when you're the trainer, what does that job do?
Well, the trainer opens the doors to players to get in and off of the ice,
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
and refills the water bottles
Yes.
and puts them on the bench for each game.
Yeah. So you just got to make sure that they're in and out on time
Yes.
and that they're hydrated because they're hockey players and they need that water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you really have to pay attention to the game then.
Yeah. And I was a trainer for another team called the Senators.
The Senators?
Oh.
I don't know about that team at all. Was that Dennis Hashi coaching as well?
Yes.
He's a good coach.
He's one of the best and my best friend.
And he's a very good guy. So he got you involved with that, and that was a lot of volunteer time on your part.
Yes.
Like you're on the road a lot.
Well, not a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. Sometimes we go on the road. Sometimes I just stay home and relax.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Zakia, you're involved in a lot of activities as well.
Yes, I do.
So just tell us and the viewers a bit about the things that you're involved in.
Well, I'm in the Special Olympics.
Good.
Wow.
I'm in swimming, curling, and bowling.
Wow.
You really like winter sports.
Yes, I do. I really do. I've been in a lot of sports.
Yeah. Now, how do you know Judy?
I know Judy for a long time.
Yeah.
Her husband is my doctor, and I really love him a lot.
And
Yeah.
you love him a lot? I'm sure he loves you a lot
Yeah.
too. How could anyone not? You're always bubbly and upbeat. The two of you have you give us a lift because your personalities are so sweet. There's a lot of negative people out
Yes.
there and they can't help the way they are. But you people you just make me feel better.
And Zakia, you have been a model.
Yes, I was. I've been a model.
And you were in one
Oh.
of Judy's fashion shows.
Yes, I was, and I still love it. I'm going again this year.
So we'll do another one because Veronique's referring to a purse auction that we did in fundraiser for the Newcastle Rotary Club,
Yeah.
where they had purses on auction, desserts, delectable desserts,
Oh, yes.
and then a
I love
fashion show.
desserts. I love desserts.
Yes, I do too.
Do you love desserts, Michael?
Well, I wouldn't say I love them, but once in a while I have a snack once in a while.
But they're not your top thing, sweets.
You know, I'm trying to cut deals.
Okay, good for the new year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just to flip back to the fashion show, you made the front page of our local newspaper, the Miramichi Leader,
Yes, I did.
because you struck a pose that was pro.
Yeah.
And you had your
Yeah.
smiling face on the cover, and I'm so proud of you. In fact, there's another young girl in New York that's making big waves, just like you are.
Yes.
And she's an up-and-coming model, getting paid to do
I
it.
know.
Yes.
So
I know.
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
We're not making enough money at it, Judy.
Not yet. Not yet.
We're not making any.
So you both like to go to movies, and we understand.
I love movies.
What's your favorite kind of movie?
My favorite is comedy, drama, scary movies.
Me too. We'll have to go to one.
I
Yeah.
don't like the scary
I
ones.
love them. We're gonna have to make a date.
Yes.
And you and I'll have to make a date
Yeah.
because I had you for driving my car last year.
Well, yes, you did.
And you know what? You love your mother, so we can't tell her how fast we went, can we?
Well, we can't say that on live TV.
No, but we went pretty fast, didn't we?
Well, maybe a little bit.
And I put you to work. What did I make you do? Because I'm a little lady. What did I have you doing for me?
Well, I had to carry your dog food.
Dog
to the
food.
farm.
We went to the vet and I said, I need a strong man here. So he was just my saving grace.
I thought, did he have to carry Diva?
No, he had to carry a huge bag of dog food for me because he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we drove back to meet your mom, and you were asking me if I was married.
Yes, I did. I should say that.
And I said, are you? And you said, no, I'm single, but I'm hoping for a girlfriend this year.
That's right.
Now, did you want to say hi to some people?
I like to say hi to my best friend Alex D and
Yeah.
my good friend Helen.
Your girlfriend. Oh, this is new.
And I also like to say hello to my grandparents from Tram Head,
Yeah, they're great people.
Nanny Papadaki,
Yep.
and my other grandma who lives in Brunswick with me.
Good. So you have 3 grandparents.
Well, I have only
Like
2 grandparents from Tram Head
Yep.
and only
one and
in
the other.
Brunswick.
Yeah, but still nice to have grandparents.
Yeah.
And what about
Zakia?
you?
Well, I want to say hi to my friends who are watching on cable.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to everybody on Facebook.
Oh, you're on Facebook.
Me too.
And I want to say hi to everyone, my brother-in-law, Amy, and all my sisters.
Good.
Yeah.
They'll be
And I want a
watching.
special hello to my mother, Eileen.
Are you getting emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're so special.
Yes.
They're your family, of course.
And my dad, and my cousin Lorraine from Georgia.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I have lots of aunts and uncles.
And what about Anne, your famous friend Anne?
And my special friend Anna Wolf.
And she's a great lady.
She's a very special lady for me.
Yep. So you people enjoy, like we do, different things like reading. So what do you read a lot? Or like sports magazines?
I read books, like Harry Potter books.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter was my favorite. I
I
loved all
got
those
all
books.
7 seasons
Yeah.
from season 1 all the way up to the finale.
Did you watch all the movies too?
Yep, I've seen from number 1, Philosopher's Stone, all the way down to the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah.
So you're really a fan. And what do you read, Zakia?
I read maybe some books, but I read some Full House.
You what?
Full House.
House.
Okay.
Now, is there something that you haven't gotten to do yet that you want to do? Like you're involved with the Special Olympics, and you're the trainer for a hockey team.
That's
Is there
right,
something
I
else that
am.
you want to get to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, I never tried to basketball yet,
Oh, okay.
and floor hockey.
Floor hockey.
But you do floor hockey.
Yes, I do. I do floor hockey, swimming, and bowling with this girl here, Zakia Asoyuf. She's the best bowler.
Is
She's
she?
the best.
Do you bowl on the same team?
Well, yes, we do.
Okay.
We're on
Or just in the
team.
same league? You're on the same team?
Yep. And
Yes.
she's the best
He
friend.
said she's the best bowler. That's a nice compliment,
Maybe
Zakia.
the two of them
Thank
can
you,
teach us.
Michael.
You're welcome to Zakia.
Yeah, I don't think
Now
there's any
back to you,
teaching me.
Judy.
I think Michael is the best hockey player. I
That's
see him
good.
sometimes on TV.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
On TV?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, Zakia's the best. She has beautiful hair and beautiful eyes.
Yes, she does. And always smiling.
Yes.
Isn't it nice to have friends like that, Judy?
Yes,
See?
it is.
Where they just said wonderful things to each other.
I know. If only everyone could think
I
like,
know.
think like that. And we were, like her quote goes back to lifting up other people.
Yeah.
And like you said, every time you do a good gesture for somebody else, it looks good on you.
Well, yes, it
Makes
does.
you a stronger person.
Yeah.
So what did you two feel like during the ice storm? Was that a shock for you to be out of power for,
Yes.
because you're not used to that.
No.
So what was it like?
For me, I don't like the ice storm. We out of power for 3 days,
Oh.
and we did our cooking on the wood stove.
Good for you. You have to eat.
Yeah.
And
Were
it
you
was
cold?
really, really something we're not used to, being that cold and going
Yeah.
without like our internet and things that we just take
Yeah.
for granted, telephones,
Telephone.
music.
I have my cell phone. I use that a lot.
Yes. And then, but you have to charge it all the time. I have to go
Charge
to
it
the
all the
truck to
time.
charge mine.
I
What
know.
about you? Were you used, like, have you been in a power situation before where it failed?
Yes, and I was petrified.
How many hours did you lose your power for this time in the ice
When I
storm?
left it on Tuesday,
Yeah.
it stayed out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then it came on Thursday evening around 7:30.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Ours came back on, I would say, Saturday evening.
Oh my goodness.
Around maybe 8:30 or 9.
Wow.
Were you worried about your puppy?
Well, my dog's doing good.
Yeah.
But I would love to say hi to the best mother I ever had out there.
Good. And we know she's special.
Hey,
She's my favorite mother in the whole wide world.
So out of all the things all the activities that you do and all of your hobbies, what's your number one thing? What's your go-to for your special hobby?
My special hobby is be with my friend Anna Wolf.
Okay.
She comes down if she wants to come down, and we do a lot of things together, and
Family and friends?
family and friends.
So Zakia, how did you get involved with the Special Olympics?
I came on the Special Olympics for a very long time, right, Michael?
That's right, Zakia.
And we've been in a lot of things together, right, Michael?
That's right, Zakia.
Oh.
Now, so Michael, have you participated in the Special Olympics too?
Well, yes, I have.
Yeah.
I've been bowling, swimming, and hockey.
Bowling,
Wow.
swimming, and hockey. So you're
Wow.
very busy.
Well,
How do you have time for a girlfriend?
well, it's really easy. Just put myself out there, and I have a girl.
There you go. And this time last year you said you didn't have one, so you worked
That's
pretty
true,
fast.
But now I do.
So
Yeah, I
now,
wanna
did you
thank my
guys
mother
meet?
for that.
How did you guys become friends? Through Special Olympics or through?
Yep, we're best friends. I met Zakia at the bowling alley.
I met Michael at the Kismet School
Okay.
Okay.
for a long time.
So there's a lot of people you get together with your friends through all this activity, so you see each other a lot during the week.
Well, now sometimes when I go to the movies, I see Michelle, her mother, and Zakia at the movie house.
You live there at the movie. I've never been to a movie that you were at.
Well, the woman I was with Michelle,
Yeah.
her name is Sandra Gigi.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
I look forward to seeing you at the movie theater. I remember one time you're so friendly, and one time I went into the theater, it was really, really crowded, but you spotted me and you said, "Hi, Judy." And I thought, everyone knows I'm slipping in late now because you've got the most outgoing personality, Zakia.
It happens to all of us, though, Judy.
Yes.
I'm usually running late.
So you weren't really nervous to come on TV, were you? You were a little bit.
I was, because I never been on live TV before.
No.
Now it's a
I've
shoot.
never been on live TV either before, but this is my first time. But I'm getting to get used to it being on TV now.
Exactly.
Me too. And I'm glad to be my best friend right here.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
And it's good to do something new, right? It's good to do something you've never done
Yeah.
before because it builds up your confidence.
So so you were feeling a little nervous. What did you say to yourself when you were feeling nervous so that you could calm down a little bit?
Well, I get hot flashes,
You got hot flashes.
and sometimes I get beat backs.
Aw.
Like BATS in
Yeah.
my stomach.
Oh, you get bats in your stomach.
But I'm happy to see you, Judy.
I'm happy to see you.
You're very special to me.
Oh.
And you, me. And that's why I took you for a drive this summer.
Yep. And the key is also special to me because she's my best friend in the whole wide world.
Yep.
Yeah.
See the
And-
love. I'm
I
just
know.
happy for you guys
And-
because you
and
have such a
also
sweet
one more
person.
thing, that Mike and I became friends. We chat together on Facebook.
That's
Okay.
right, you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Facebook fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facebook friends.
Yeah.
What do you think of me that I'm not on Facebook? What do you think of that?
What?
Pretty bad, isn't it?
She's not on Facebook.
Well, she should sign up for Facebook and I can ask her.
I know, but I don't have time.
No, and we keep her pretty much informed. You know, Judy and I text a lot.
Really?
But you're more advanced than I am
I
with
text
your
too.
Facebooking.
I text all the time with all my friends on Facebook and like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
I saw you at Pita Pit there last summer. Is that your favorite place to go, or what's your
Yes.
favorite restaurant?
my favorite restaurant is the Subway.
Is it?
Yes.
That's good.
I get the meatball subs.
And what about you, Michael? What do you like?
Well, I have two favorite restaurants.
Okay.
One is the Subway with Zakia,
Yep.
Yeah.
and the other one is McDonald's with the bacon McDoubles that I enjoy.
The bacon McDoubles?
Oh,
Yes.
You're making me
That's
hungry
I know.
now.
That sounds good.
Now it's lunchtime for me, so
That sounds good.
we shouldn't have brought up
So
the food.
just before we go to break, because we're going to go to break in a couple of minutes, what is the one thing, and I'm going to start with you, Michael, what is the one thing that you want everyone to know out there about you?
I'm a ladies man.
You're a ladies' man?
Yep.
That's awesome.
You have a girlfriend. You shouldn't. Oh, she hears
Okay,
that.
so that and what else?
What else?
Yeah.
Well, I like to read.
Yeah.
I'm very smart.
Very
and
smart.
You are
I'm
very
glad
smart.
to have Judy as my best friend.
Very good. And Zakia, what's the one thing that you want everybody out there to know?
I want everybody out there to know that I'm smart I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I have no boyfriend right now.
Ah, so you're hoping for one now by putting it on TV.
Yes.
Ah.
Well, that was one. We were so happy to have you both on the show with us today. We really enjoyed it, and we're going to go to break in about 30 seconds, so don't go too far yet. And then we'll be back right after break with the New Brunswick All-Terrain Vehicle Federation. We're very excited to have them here this afternoon, and we're looking forward to what they're going to tell us all about it. And we'll see you right after break. Grab a coffee and join us. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Veronique Arsenault. Audrey, unfortunately, was off today. She had some things that she had to take care of. But I am joined, of course, by my fantastic co-host, Judy Loger.
Oh, what can we say? She's so nice to me.
Yeah, we try and, pump each other up as we come in.
Lift each other up, as the quote said at the beginning of the show.
But we are so pleased to be joined by two very dapper gentlemen from the New Brunswick All-Terrain Vehicle Federation. Welcome. And we have Roger Daigle, who is the president, and Jacques Poirier, the general manager.
Yes.
So welcome to both of you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, it's a good topic
Yeah.
because we've not had any representatives on ever, and we've been on the show 2.5 years now. So it's time for people to be aware of what you're going to bring to the table.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So tell us about your little bit of a lifestyle.
Well, my life. I come from Bucktouche, New Brunswick, and I spent my life working for NB Power as a lineman.
Wow.
Those heroes that you see out there.
You're one of those.
But
that was your
Yeah,
lifestyle.
that was my
your
lifestyle.
career. That's a huge career.
Yeah, I started as a lineman, then moved on to a lead lineman, which is in charge of a crew, then moved on to a staker detailer, and eventually I retired in 2006.
Good for you.
So Roger, you know firsthand how tough the last couple of weeks have been
Oh,
for all
yes.
the guys and girls out there working.
Yes, definitely, because we worked in the storm in '93, the big ice storm '93, and this one beat it.
Oh, worst in history for
Worse,
this area.
yeah.
Well, I
it
lived
is.
through the ice storm in Ottawa in '98.
Yes, you did.
And
Yeah.
it was, I remember the towers, the metal towers. You were driving down the road and they were bent right in half from
Oh,
the
yeah.
weight of the water and ice.
Yeah.
And we were quite lucky where we were. We didn't lose power, but it was like
Devastating.
It was catastrophic.
It
like
was.
It was really incredible. And for the first time, they had shut down the schools and everything. Because in Ottawa and Ontario, they don't close the schools for snow days. They just stop the buses from running.
Okay.
But they closed everything.
Yeah. When you got no power, you better well have to.
Yeah.
But we do admire your line of work,
Oh,
and
my
we do
goodness.
give acknowledgement to all those heroes that were there
Yes.
for almost 12 days in some
Oh,
parts
it's
of the
terrible.
province trying to restore things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yourself.
And
Well,
Jacques?
myself, I started working as a silviculture technician.
Oh, okay.
Worked 4 years with the Fraser Company in Edmundston. And then essentially I got hired through the Maritime Forestry Complex Corporation in Fredericton to work on trails. So I've been working in trails since 1997.
A lot of
wow.
experience.
A long history in
Yeah,
trails, that's
yeah.
for sure. So, and back in 2004 is when I actually got hired by the Brunswick ATV Federation to become the general manager. I've been there since then.
Oh, wow.
So where would you like to start this whole big fun subject of all-terrain
Tell
vehicles?
us about the Federation.
Well, I can start. The Federation started back in 1999.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, there was 60-some clubs because every town pretty well had a club.
Okay.
And there was about 60-some clubs at the time. And during that process, the smaller clubs knew that they need to grow, and the only way they could grow was to amalgamate with their neighboring
Oh,
clubs.
okay, yeah.
So eventually, we are today at 56 clubs throughout the
Oh, wow.
province. And we also have over 21,000 members.
My goodness! See, I would never have a clue that there was that many people involved.
And
But
we're actually now spotting some video that they had taken over the last couple of years, and
Gosh.
I'm amazed at the number. So 21,000 members.
Over 21,000.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible. And the number of hours, like it's pretty much all done by volunteers, right?
All volunteer.
Yes, it is. It is
Oh.
volunteers. All volunteers. That's-
Like the grooming and the associations and the clubs and all that, they're pretty much run by volunteers.
Yeah,
right?
the cutting of the trees, the
at
building
that.
of trails, the building of bridges,
Wow,
everything's all volunteer.
that's amazing.
It is.
So what age do you have to be able to drive one of these things?
I'll let Jacques answer that one.
Yeah.
A young kid as young as 6 years old can actually start driving an ATV, but it has to be an age-appropriate machine.
Okay, so that like
And-
they make those
Yes,
small
yes, they
puppies
do.
there.
Yeah, the dealerships do have them, and as well, the child and the parents, if the parent allows his kid to ride an ATV, they both have to take an ATV safety course.
Oh,
It's
okay.
required by law since 2002.
Oh, good.
So that's basically why they're doing that, is to make sure that the kid learns the proper techniques and the do's and the don'ts, and essentially why the parents are now involved to take the course is because if the kid happens to do something wrong, with the parent having taken the course at the same time, the
Right.
parent should be able to correct and basically make sure that the kid doesn't do what he did wrong.
And especially since it only came in 2002, probably the parents grew up with some bad habits, right?
I would say so. As
Driving a car.
We all did it, right?
yeah. Myself, I am an instructor.
Okay.
And I've trained a lot of kids and I've trained a lot of adults. And some of the adults actually came on my course, doing the course, actually left saying to me that I've learned a lot of things
Yeah,
that
of
I was
course.
doing wrong in the past.
Yeah.
And now I'm implementing what you taught me, and
Right.
hopefully I'm become a better rider.
But a child, 6 years old, does this, although they're the driver and trained to be the driver at that young age, do they not have to be accompanied by somebody on the
they
same
do.
machine?
Not on the same
Not
machine.
on the- you can only-
If it's a child from 6 to 15 years old,
Yeah.
he has to be on his own ATV by himself.
Oh.
So, but the thing is, the parent has to supervise the kid, meaning the parent doesn't have to be on the ATV. Like, the kid can ride around the house as long as the parent can see him at all times.
Okay.
And the kid can hear his mom or dad shouting, "Don't do
Right.
that," or "Stop."
Right.
That was my concern.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking, how young would that be to operate a vehicle?
That's some beautiful footage in the summertime, because of course we think now ATVs right now and snowmobiles and all that kind of stuff because of our weather, but that's some fantastic footage in the summertime.
Yeah.
That'd be my favorite season to do
I
it.
know, me too.
Definitely, my son took me on one. He has one, and
He has a side-by-side, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was a wild ride for me because the whole helmet thing and the swerving and the curving and it wasn't what I call fun, but you guys love it, obviously.
Yes, we do.
And New Brunswick's blessed with a range of scenery. Like, we have some of the most beautiful scenic areas, the shorelines, and we have along the rivers, and we have obviously the woods, the beautiful forestry.
Yeah,
and we
Appalachian
have
Mountain
Mount
as well.
Carlton,
Yep.
which is probably the highest peak in the Maritime.
Yes. The Mount Carlton, though, it depends on where you're actually riding. There's some locations you can't because it's a
can't.
provincial park.
Okay.
We're actually trying to work with the Department of Tourism to actually try and have a trail going to the park.
That would be
neat.
ideal.
It's possible that we can, but we have to basically make sure that there's a trail that leads to, and then we have to make the proper applications through the Department of Tourism to gain legal access to the
Everything
park.
step
But
by
it's-
step.
it's
But
a-
it's a
Exactly.
progress and it's a
Yes.
making.
Roger, how long have you been involved with the Federation?
I started ATVing in 2002.
Okay.
And I became president of the Bucktooth Club at that time. And then in 2004, I became a director for the Federation, director of Region 5. And in 2013, I was voted in as vice president of the Federation because of a death of our vice president.
Oh, I remember.
Uh,
I remember.
Dave Lynch
Yeah.
was the vice president at the time, and I replaced him. And then eventually in 2013 or 14, I became the vice president
President by interim.
by interim.
There
There.
you go. He's climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Technical titles,
Yeah,
eh?
and then in April 2014, I was voted in as the president, and I've been there ever since.
Yeah.
So you have 56 clubs
Yep.
in the province and 21,000 members.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
That's just blows my mind.
Now, let's just talk about a couple of these events that you have here.
Ooh, I see.
So,
Yes.
okay, so
Ladies.
here, Ladies' Night Out,
Exactly.
June 3rd, 2017. So, Ladies ATV Run to Wilson's. So, I'm gonna.
I probably won't make it.
No.
I think June 3rd I have a wedding or something.
So, that's a good question. Actually, something that crosses my mind. Do you have a lot of women involved?
We do, because since the side-by-side's been coming out, the men bring their wives,
Yeah.
or vice versa. It could
Right.
be the wife that has the side-by-side
Right.
bringing her husband. And now the women have been getting involved, and as you can see, they're starting to organize riding groups, women only.
Woo!
And that is super, super.
Do you see a lot of people and a lot of women that ride motorcycles that also own ATVs, or do you not get that connection at all?
I can't speak for New Brunswick, but I know of other provinces where I know ladies that have a motorcycle and actually
Right.
ride ATVs as well, and in some cases they do ride snowmobile too.
Right, yeah.
So it's no longer a men's only sport.
No.
The
Great.
women are coming in,
Yeah.
and not only that, what Roger did say earlier is that basically with the side-by-side coming into play now,
Yeah.
side-by-sides are becoming family oriented.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you no longer can only drive two. If you want to buy something that you can
Yeah.
carry your kids with you, you
You
can
can,
have
I've seen them with
side-by-side
4, right? You
side
can do
that
front and back.
has 4
Yeah.
seaters, and some that even have 6 seaters.
Wow.
So it's
Six-seaters.
becoming a family
Cool.
family thing
Interesting.
more than it used to be like 10 years ago.
Yeah. My dad had a motorcycle from the time long before I was born, and so we've always been, we've traveled all over on his motorcycle, and he did have an ATV, but we weren't out on it all that much, so he eventually sold it. But you're seeing it so often now, and particularly those side-by-sides.
Yeah.
We're seeing them more and more and more. And it's funny, my mother said that would be the only thing she would get on.
Well, that's one thing I would get on probably.
yeah.
Well, yeah. See, at one time we didn't have the trails for it,
Right.
and now the clubs have built wider trails, and it's an awesome. It's the same as driving a Jeep, really.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just like sitting in the car.
Yeah. Wow. And so now, typically, how many volunteers does it take, like in a club, to run, like to get the grooming done and all that kind of stuff?
You're looking at, a minimum at least 15 people per club.
Okay.
All women.
Getting the work done, Judy. Getting the work done.
I'm sure it's going to be all female.
We
Probably
wish.
could get it done faster, yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
no, it's an average of about 15 people per club. Some clubs do have a lot more versus other clubs that have a little bit less. It depends on the membership that they have. The club,
Exactly.
if it's got a bigger membership, then yeah, you're going to have a lot more volunteers volunteering for some of the work.
Let's touch on some of the safety aspects of all-terrain vehicles, because we hear about these terrible incidences because people have not been safe or done something really stupidly, and it costs them even their life or injury. So do you have a lot of worries or concerns or improvements in that area?
Well, what we're looking at is to try and convince the newcomers to the sport, if they haven't ridden an ATV or even a side-by-side, it probably would be appropriate that they take the ATV safety course, because they're going to learn the proper techniques.
Right.
But it's not mandatory if
It's
you're
not
not a child,
mandatory
right?
in the province.
Yeah.
If you are employed and you're basically advised by your employer you need to use an ATV or a side-by-side, at the time the employer is going to dictate that, yes, you do require
Right.
a safety course.
Okay.
So in that particular aspect is that when people take the course, they become better riders because as much as they can, they're not doing something that shouldn't be done.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of adults just basically never driven an ATV before, just go out and buy the biggest that they
Oh
can.
dear.
And sometimes those are the ones that probably are going to end up
having
having an
problems.
accident.
Exactly.
Versus the one that's been riding for many years. I've actually started in '81.
Oh, okay.
My first one that I drove, and I had never had an accident since.
Wow.
Is there a certain helmet required, like by standards? Is there one that has to be issued a proper type?
The proper type is a helmet that you would normally get at a dealership. You have to look at 3 letters. It's either going to be inside or on the outside. It's DOT, so it's certified to be a motorized vehicle helmet.
All right.
And the thing that people need to know is that a helmet currently is not good for your life. It has a life expectancy. It
Right.
expires after 5 or 6 years. You basically have to throw the helmet in the garbage and buy a new one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that we should advise everybody is this: when there's some sales, sometimes
Go for it.
it's not go for it. Look, because the manufacturers are mandated by law that they got to put inside the date that the helmet was
There's an
manufactured.
expiration date in a helmet.
Yep.
Yes,
I
there
believe there
is.
should
Yes.
be.
Isn't that amazing?
That's the number one thing I think about is protecting my
Yeah.
head if I ever had a fall or
Oh,
my
yes.
child was on it or anything like that. That's what jumps to mind is a very
And
big...
it's those are things that we always teach at our courses, and not even that is that if you do have an accident, you do drop your helmet or something like that, basically your helmet is rendered useless. You got to just throw it in
Right,
the garbage and buy a
okay.
new one.
So how long does your course run if I was to be taking part in it?
Depending on the candidates, an average course is about 5.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I wanted to volunteer, if I wanted to get involved, how do I contact my local club, or how do I contact you guys?
You can contact us through our website. It's NBATV.com.
Yes.
And there we have a list of all the clubs throughout
Okay.
the province. And it starts from Region 1 to Region 7. And if you click, let's say, Region 5, then you choose the club next to you.
That's
and then
closest.
you can contact the club and become a member that way.
Okay.
So it's fun and recreational. Do you have one, like, for example, one huge New Brunswick jamboree or anything like
We
that
do.
where everyone gathers?
Yes, we do.
Where and when? We got to find out.
This one's going to take place in 2017 at Aristook,
No, Woolastook.
Woolastook.
What used to be the Woolastook Park.
Yes.
Is that Woodstock area?
That's between Woodstock and Fredericton.
Okay.
It's on the old Trans-Canada
Everybody
Highway.
can go that owns one
Yes.
and it belongs to the Federation.
Yes.
Exactly.
And what time of year?
The long weekend of August. So
New Brunswick Day.
4th, 5th, and 6th
Very
of
good.
August, if I remember correctly.
So we're in our last couple minutes before the end of our show, and really, you know, you our first guests were a tough act to follow, but you gentlemen did quite well.
I didn't know much about it all, so it's really great for me, as I'm sure the viewers felt.
Well,
Is there anything that you really want to make sure that everybody hears before we head off?
I would like to make sure that if you ride an ATV on ATV trail, please buy your trail permit. That helps out the club because
Yes.
that's the only money that the clubs have, and they
Of
need
course.
that desperately. So
Yeah.
please buy your trail permit.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I never would have thought of that. Of course. Yeah. Anything from you, Jacques?
Well, my last words would be, if you go out riding, just make sure that you ride safely
Yeah.
and always ride alive. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
And otherwise, it's a great, fun, happening
Yes.
club, and it's growing as we speak.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, I love the fact that you do, provide the training courses and that, and the support, because it's not something I've ever done. So, that there is somebody out there that can teach me to do what I'm supposed to be doing, as opposed to what I think I,
Yeah.
want to do. But we really appreciate you both coming today. It was very interesting to have you. And you have a Facebook page.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
What's
New Brunswick ATV
Federation.
Federation.
And you traveled in for our show, so we appreciate your
Yes.
time and your information and your enthusiasm.
Well, thank you.
Makes
and
for a
thanks
good
for having
show.
us.
It's very nice. Maybe sometime again.
Yeah.
We'll have you back.
in the summer? You and I, Judy, we'll head out.
We'll
with
show up at the
And
jamboree.
then afterward, we'll go for a ride.
Okay. We'll head out on
On
the
a side-by-side.
I'm
On a
ready.
side-by-side.
I'm a
All
win.
right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming today. We had a fantastic show today. All of our guests were incredible. We really enjoyed it. We, of course, missed Audrey, but
Yes, she'll
don't
be back
forget to
next
join us next week. Check us out on Facebook, and we'll be up on YouTube by the end of the week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much.